Good morning. My name's Janet Eastwood and I'm leading the reflection today, along with Hazel, my little companion. When I went to Waterloo Park Girls' School, part of the weekly routine was to learn a psalm or a famous passage from the King James Bible. Much of it has slipped out of my memory, but one has remained with me, and that's Psalm 23. And so, in a moment of nostalgia, I'll read this from the King James Bible. But first of all, a favourite prayer. Day by day, 3 things of thee, dear Lord, I pray, to see thee more clearly, to love thee more dearly, and to follow thee more nearly, day by day. Amen. And now, Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table for me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen. When I was a child, I lived in Edenfield, a small village in Lancashire. We lived on the edge of the moors, and because we had freedom, those early years were idyllic. Mum would send us back, knowing that hunger would bring us home. And if my older brother was with me, we did really exciting things, like fishing up on the moorland streams. Or, with my best friend Valerie, we'd go up Buckden, where we had rocks to sit on, streams and trees, flowers and a waterfall to walk through and to get wet. All of this was before I was 8 years old, when we moved to Crosby, but the memory of Buckden stays with me. I was never frightened by the solitude or worry about any danger. Maybe it's from there I started to learn just how much you can hear when everyday sounds disappear. Of course, my big brother had to burst the bubble, and it was quite clear that at 7 years old my parents would not have allowed me to go up Buckden. And sadly, logic tells me he's right. However, his comments led me to wonder exactly where my special place is. But do you know, it's not one place, and it's not static. Sometimes it might be Buckden, but these days it's often sitting with Hazel and enjoying the quiet and the calm. And she's going now. I can think of other places too. What unites them all is the person that makes them special. God is in these special places, and it's him that makes them holy. For some of you, it might be holding a dog on your lap. It might well be holding in your arms a child who has just this minute stopped crying, and the peace returns. But sometimes it can even be a time of trial, something desperately sad or unhappy, and you have a moment where you know that you're not alone. But special places aren't necessarily those places which have meanings from the past. They can be here and now, part of a peaceful morning, or a snatched few seconds in turmoil or grief, when God makes his presence known in current dilemmas. Or maybe we shout out and we hear his voice responding. The place itself is not necessarily a place of blessing, but feeling the presence of God in unlikely places is. The psalm reminds us that in joy and in sorrow, alone or having a meal with friends, he is with us. So take time today to stop and wonder what your special places are. Those buried in memories and those that might take place today. or still to be made tomorrow. Psalm 23 reminds us that Jesus the shepherd is with us in times of joy and serenity, and also in the darkest days. Psalm 23 is known for its quietness and calm assures us that the shepherd is actually with us through every moment of our lives, whether we recognise him or not. Centuries ago, Martin Luther wrote, "God writes the gospel not in the Bible alone, but also on the trees and the flowers, the clouds and the skies." And I'd like to add to that. And in the home, the hospital, the school, in the laughter of a child and the understanding of an older friend, God writes the gospel not in the Bible alone, but in being the shepherd who loves and protects his sheep. To end our reflection, the obvious music to turn to would be the hymn, "The Lord's My Shepherd." But as I worked on this, a different song came to mind. It seemed to fit a bit better. For wherever we are with Jesus, we stand on holy ground. And so in a moment, Nigel will be playing for us, "Be still, for the presence of the Lord, the Holy One is here." Thank you, Nigel. And now let me pray for you as your day begins. May your day be blessed by moments of quietness, light in your darkness, strength in your weakness, grace in your meekness, and joy in your gladness, peace in your stillness. May your day be blessed with the creativity of the Father, the insight of the Spirit, and the companionship of Jesus, the Good Shepherd. Amen. Have a good day.